Javins. We'll have a look down there, see if we can spot him. And annoyingly, he's on the orange outfit this time around, so not the bright pink, but the orange outfit for the number 69 of Greg Lambert. Buchanan and Evans, Hanson Kirk on row 5, and we do have a green flag at the back. So it's all eyes to the lights. Clutch is in, click it in the first gear, watch the lights, dump the clutch, and away we go. The first of the sidecar races this weekend, and that's a poor start for Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon from pole position. They're down into 6th position already, 7th place now, as Jim Fayers and Mark Fox from 4th on the grid keep. Row number 2, they lead the way from Andy Peach and Josh Hope.
I tell you what, Fayers made a really good start there, went down the inside, looked at these sidecars quite wide out. Pincy might have given the old pit bull just a little bit of a nudge there.
Doesn't stop him going 3 wide around Druids for 2nd place though. That looks like Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens have the inside line on the Smiths, as do the number 4 of Andy Peach and Josh Hope. But as they come out of Graham Hill Bend, it is the 65 from the 100 and then the number 4 up next.
Of course, the problem we have with these sidecars, we're not quite sure who's scoring points and who's not scoring points. I don't think that Andy Peach will be scoring points.
I wouldn't have thought so.
I don't think Kirby and Salmon will be either. Holland and Stevens, I'm not sure. They are in our championship.
They're in the championship.
Absolutely, because they are 3rd in the championship at the moment, only 9 points behind the Smith family machine, but 163 points behind Fayers and Fox, who I have to say could well be wrapping up the championship today.
What's the gap?
The gap is 163, 1st to 2nd. Smith is 2nd, then Holland Stevens separated by 9 points. Wakely and Hilditch in 11 points back again from that. So, yeah, I think Jim said he needs another 37 points today to absolutely confirm the championship. Obviously, it depends on the gap between himself and the Smiths, who's currently running in 4th place as they come across the line for the first time. Fayers and Fox, Holland and Stevens, Peach and Hope, Smith and Smith, Kirby and Salmon, Hannah and Evans.
Looked like a little bit wide there from Jim Fayers and Mark Fox as they went around Graham Hill Bend on this 2nd lap, but they got it all under control there. But Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens, they're trying to find a way through. Purple in sector number 1 is your outfit in 5th position. That's the 27 of Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon. So keep your eyes on that black and fluorescent yellow with the turquoise number 27 of Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon. They're rounding out that top 5 group, but across the line at the end of lap number 2, Jim Fayers and Mark Fox, they led the way by 0.43. It's now 0.49.
We've got a yellow flag there waving at Paddock Hill Bend.
Looks like got a slower outfit just cruising up towards Druids, Keith.
Okay. I wonder what was going on there, because unfortunately that was at the same time we did see a bit of a move as well from Kirby and Salmon on Peach and Hope as well.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it because the leaders are coming through now. So Jim Fayers and Mark Fox will get there first. Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens, they look for the outside, but there's no opportunity as they come around Graham Hill Bend onto the front straight once again, bottom straight once again. My apologies. Number 4, Andy Peach and Josh Hope, they're in 3rd place. Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon, they're now through on the number 32 of the Smiths, and they're in 4th position overall at the moment. But in the Formula 2's, Keith, of course, the Formula 2 Championship is already done and dusted. That's the number 69 of Greg Lambert with Andy Jevons and Robin King. But as they come around Clearways and Clark Curve at the end of lap number 3, then it is still Jim Fayers and Mark Fox. They have the advantage. It was 0.49. It's now opened up to 0.51. So it is opening up by 200th per lap. So very, very consistent stuff between Fayers and Fox with Holland and Stevens.
Fastest team on the track, as you mentioned, Kirby and Salmon, they're coming across the line, 52.429, very consistent from them, into 5.68 on the last lap as well. A little bit of a change further back, Hegarty and Naps made up a couple of places, Buchanan and Evans go back a place. Unfortunately, that has cost them the lead in the F2 Championship as the Lambert. Javins, I'm not quite sure who's in the chair at the moment. It gets a little bit confusing with that particular team. They've honestly got more passengers than a bus at this time of the year. Hanks and Kirk run 3rd in the F2s at the moment, ahead of Hall and Barsley, Petman and Leach, and I need to give a big shout out to Tom Petman because it's Tom Petman's birthday today, and that is Wes's dad, so happy birthday to Tom. We do get a lot of birthday greetings this time of the year. It seems to be 9 months after New Year's Eve. I'm not sure if it's a coincidence there or not, but something in that maybe. As Fayers and Fox come across the line once again ahead of Holland and Stevens, Kirby and Salmon, Peach and Hope, Smith and Smith, Moss and Hoxwell, Hegarty and Naps and Lambert, Javins, King, Buchanan and Evans. Very rapidly running through this race from the 5th seat, the fastest lap of 51.790. That again is for Kirby and Salmon.
Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens, they're now through. They're leading the way ahead of the number 65 of Jim Fayers and Mark Fox. And you said that I think the gap coming into this one is 160 something. So it's very much going to be a tall order for the number 100 of Holland and Stevens, but damage limitation to a certain extent in this particular race because they lead the way at the moment, getting into the thick of things with some of the tail enders once again as they come around Clearways onto Clark Curve to complete lap number 5 now. So across the line, Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens on the number 100. Then it's 65, Jim Fayers and Mark Fox ahead of the 27 of Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon. Then there's a bit of a gap back between 3rd and 4th of 1.9 seconds between Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon with the number 32 of the Smith. But there goes Kirby and Salmon up the inside of Jim Fayers and Mark Fox. But they lose track position. But Keith, I don't think Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon score points. So that will still be 20 points at the moment for Fayers and Fox.
I reckon it is. That'll give them a 4-point advantage over the Smiths, and that, of course, is the critical point that they need. It'll mean they've got to score slightly fewer points this afternoon to grab that championship. They'd love to be able to do that. And they're actually being featured on a billboard in Times Square of all bizarre things. It's amazing what Mr. Fayers gets up to appear on a billboard in Times Square at the moment. That's a whole different story. But if you have a word with him, he'll happily show you the clip coming from there as the leaders come back towards us again. It is that Holland and Stevens outfit. I'll tell you what, we could well have a battle going on here. We've got a back marker to contend with as well. We've had a couple so far, but Holland and Stevens, Kirby and Salmon separated by quarter of a second. It's another fastest lap from Kirby and Salmon. 51.6. You've got to be in the 49s if you want to claim the lap record, so let's not worry too much about that. They slide through on the back marker. That was our leaders, Holland and Stevens. They're safely through. Here comes that chasing British sidecar outfit. Though Fayers and Fox also looking for the inside pass. They're trying to stay in touch as that little F2 outfit goes very wide indeed. Is that Hall and Bards? No, Hanks and Kirk. I think
it's the 1-2-8 machine of Hall and Bardsley. So yeah, they kept well out of the way. So fair play to Hall and Bardsley for the track awareness.
Yeah, no, there's very great communication between rider and passenger. Actually, we had this conversation before. They're not actually allowed to use a Bluetooth unit, which seems a bit strange in this day and age. And we're coming across the line. It's going to be 7 laps completed, 2 laps to go. So there's another slow-moving outfit in front of them as well. That might be Carol Peach with Ken Edwards on board as Stevens and Holland go past. No problems in Fox. Now Carol will know that she's got the leaders coming past and she'll recognise the outfit. She's definitely no stranger to this game as they come down the hill. And of course, she is the wife of Andy Peach. They got married earlier this year. Congratulations once again to you guys as the leaders come up towards the left-hander there, up towards Clearways. Tell you, we're going to get a battle on our hands. We're going to get the last lap flag going out in a moment, Bradley, and I think we could well see a challenge from the second place who want that desperately would like to claim that win. It's obviously all about the prizes. Here we come then, 1 lap to go. The last lap flag does indeed get shown down here.
Certainly
Over
do.
we go.
Across the line there, quarter of a second, and it was Kirby and Salmon going around about 0.4 of a second quicker on that previous lap. So there is only 1.2 miles left in this race around this Brands Hatch Indy circuit. Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon there looking for that inside pass. There will be one more tail ender to come into play here, I suspect, Keith, for our leading duo. So the number 100 outfit of Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens will get there first. But look at the closing speed of Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon down into Graham Hill Bend. Not close enough to make a challenge, but certainly later on the brakes to get right into the wheel tracks.
Surtees no chance to pass on the inside. They go around the outside there. They hold it off nicely. That's well done. I think that might have given them a slight advantage because that's going to compromise the challenge there on the line from Kirby and Salmon. I think they're not going to get off the hill very rapidly at all. So I think it's looking very good indeed for Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens to pick up a critical 25 points here. So that's going to help their championship chances. Probably not enough to quite close. You want to call over the line, mate. I'll make a note of these points here. So 25 to Holland and Stevens.
Certainly is.
Is that Fayers and Fox? Fayers and Fox in second place,
That's
isn't
right,
it?
yep.
And then in third place is going to be the
Smiths, yep.
So 16. So that's going to give a +4 advantage. So that is going to get the gap open a little bit more. So that brings it down to 37 odd points, so 33 points, I think. But of course, they've scored the 20 there.
So
yeah, I'll get my fag.
I think that opens up the 4-point difference up to 1.167. There's only 175 on offer after this race now.
Exactly. So they need +8 in the next race at the end of the day, don't they?
They could afford to lose some if they really need to, because after the next race it will be 150. But like you say, we'll
you've got it. Yeah, 14.
do the maths.
Your maths is coming along very nicely indeed.
Oh, thank you very much.
Impressed. No, it's very impressive.